Welcome everyone to another video here at the Expat Odyssey YouTube channel. Just in the last couple of days, I've noticed a really huge increase in my subscribers. So I just want to say thank you all for subscribing. It really does mean a lot. And today we're going to provide you with some more value. The video that we're going to be covering today is about being a sighted guide for blind people. The motive behind me wanting to make this video is that I've traveled the world in different places, and in particular here in Malaysia, I've noticed that when it comes to the way that people are guided whenever they are blind is very different and not necessarily consistent with how it is internationally speaking. What I mean by that is that I walk with a white mobility cane, and I do this largely for to check depth perception for a step to ensure that other people understand that I do have a visual impairment, and also just for crossing the streets and whatnot. So it's very handy. It's very helpful. Uh, One of the issues that I have encountered while I've been here in Malaysia, taking the train system, be it in Kampung Baru or in other parts of the city, particularly the KL Central Station here in downtown Kuala Lumpur, is that people will sometimes come up to you and randomly grab you by the arm and start trying to pull you in a direction that they think you're trying to go into without asking you if you need help or trying to understand the situation. And certainly, as someone who has come all the way from America, the United States, I certainly do demonstrate a high level of independence. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video so that we can see and give people a great example of what it means to actually be able to provide uh, truly helpful support to people that are traveling who are blind and visually impaired. I want to preface this by saying that I don't use this technique because my level of eyesight is more than what it would be for people that are totally blind or near it. Low vision is a spectrum. It's not one size fits all, but let's go ahead and get into it just to provide some insight and mobility training to those who would like to assist people who are blind and visually impaired.
Hi, welcome to Unsightly Opinions. My name's Tamara. Today I want to go through the complexities of leading a blind person safely, aka sighted guide. Before we get into the technical details of how to do it safely, let's talk about a few important points. First, never touch somebody without their permission. Ask somebody if they need assistance and respect them if they say no. Second, never grab, pull, or drag somebody when they don't know where they're going. It can be incredibly dangerous, disorienting, and traumatic if somebody grabs onto you when you aren't expecting it and pulls you off of your line of travel somewhere else. Imagine being dragged with your eyes closed in a different direction than the direction you were going in. It can be very scary, so don't do that. Now let's talk about how you can safely give sighted guide to somebody who's blind or visually impaired. The first thing you're going to want to do as a sighted person is you're going to want to approach the blind person and get their attention. I recommend not touching somebody until they've given you permission to do so, as that can be quite startling, but coming up to somebody and saying, "Excuse me, do you need some assistance?" And if they accept, you stand on whichever side they prefer, about one step in front of them, and offer your elbow.
I think this is really critical for transit workers and police officers to take note of. Just make sure to ask and to get some clarification if the person does need this kind of support.
If the person is a cane user and they're holding their cane in one hand, typically go to the hand that they are not holding their cane in, or the opposite side to which they're using their guide dog. Typically guide dog's on the left, so a sighted guide will stand on the right. If somebody has agreed to sighted guide, the best thing you can do is touch the back of your hand to the back of their hand, and that way they can trail up the back of your arm to find your elbow safely. Don't grab the blind person's arm, they will be taking your elbow. So you run up the back of the side, and then you can orient yourself to a position about one step ahead of and to the right or to the left of the blind person you're going to guide. There are a few variations depending on the height of somebody, or different variations depending on where you're from. If you're quite tall, I have seen people put hands on shoulders, or if you're a lot shorter than the person who's guiding you, you can hang on to the wrist, or even hand. If you're unsteady on your feet or you're more comfortable with the person, you can also link arms and help give the blind person a little bit of support. They will link their arm through yours, and then that way you can give them a little extra help or a little extra direction. It's important that the blind person maintains their independence and autonomy as much as possible, so that's why you're not grabbing their elbow.
It's also a matter of just the respect and dignity of the blind or visually impaired person.
If the blind person so chooses, they should be able to release or move away from you at any point. If you're blind or visually impaired and need that assistance to be guided, you're going to find which method you prefer best and be able to direct the people around you who will be guiding you to give you the best assistance. The most standard grip is thumb is towards you and your fingers wrap around their elbow to the opposite side. So I'm going to ask Robbie to guide me here. When he's ready to set off, he's going to let me know that we're going to go. When you're ready to set off, it's important to check with each other to make sure you're both ready to start moving. So the sighted guide should usually check in with the blind or visually impaired person and make sure they're all ready to go so that nobody's knocked off balance. You will maintain that positioning of one step beside, one step behind, unless there's another obstacle or object that will prevent you from traveling side by side.
All set?
Yes, ready to go.
Just a step here.
The sighted guide should indicate anything like steps, doorways, up and down, and how many of each there are. So the sighted guide should move first, and then once you're both safely on the step, you can move forwards.
Be taking a sharp left here.
And that's how you typically travel with a sighted guide. When you get to a staircase like this one, the sighted guide should approach it and let the blind person know whether there's stairs up or stairs down. And depending on the person's preference, direct them to the railing for additional stability or stand in front of to help block should the blind person trip. When you arrive at the stairs, help the blind person locate the edge of the stair. They will feel forward with one of their feet, usually their left foot. And then once they've located, the sighted guide will go down a step and bring their arm behind their back so that you can follow single file.
Okay. Coming up on some stairs going down here. All set?
Yes, I don't need the railing.
More stairs down.
Once you're at the bottom of the stairs, return to your normal positioning and the blind person will move their arm back up to just above your elbow joint. Then you can continue on in whatever line you prefer.
Right this way.
When approaching a seat, slow your pace, and when you get close, have the blind person gently touch their shins against the seat and direct where the seat bottom or back is by using your guiding arm to place it on the seat. That will give the blind person a firm idea of where the seat is located in space.
We're coming up on a picnic table here.
Thank you. When it comes to narrow passages or areas that both people cannot safely pass at the same time, the sighted guide is going to move their arm behind their back and the blind or visually impaired person is going to slide their grip down to the wrist and follow single file.
Coming up on a garbage can here, just behind me.
Once past the obstacle, you can maintain your normal grip and continue on your normal path.
To your left.
When coming through a gate or door, the sighted guide should indicate what's ahead and which direction the gate or door opens. You should also use a narrow passage technique where the blind person comes behind the sighted guide single file. If the door is opening across you to the right-hand side of the sighted guide, you say the door opens to the right, and if it opens to the left across towards the visually impaired or blind person, you say it opens to the left. It can also be nice to know if the blind person needs to assist in holding the door open.
Okay, there's a gate coming up. If it opens to the right, you don't need to.
Once through the gate, return to your normal hand positioning. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's any facts or any details that I forgot about how to do sighted guides safely, and leave those in the comments down below.
All right, everyone. So that is it. I just wanted to put this out there because I recognize not everybody's accustomed to traveling with someone who has visual impairment or someone that is blind. So this is just for information purposes, just to be able to help uh, bring about some clarification. If there's anything that you would like to know, you can leave a comment down below, and like, comment, subscribe, of course, and share the video if you found this helpful. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Have a great day.